Right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to model something very simple again, this time a simple post-it note. So let's go ahead and maximize this viewport. Let's go to primitive, we're going to polygon mesh, we're going to create a simple grid. So here's our simple grid, very, very simple. And it has 8 subdivisions in both the U and V directions, which actually looks like that's going to work pretty good. So let me go ahead and rename this to post note. Alright. Now we're going to take this object and go into the form it. So let's go over here to modify. Let's go to the form and let's get ourselves a bend deformer. And let's deform this in the z-axis. Might be a bit too much. "90 degrees is too much, so let's actually bend that to something a little bit more manageable. And let's offset it in the Z. So we change the radius to about 10 until it's around here somewhere. And in terms of angle, I think a radius like that will actually be pretty good. Okay, that's not bad. Right, now let's go ahead and let's close that out so that it's going to have a slight bend to the post-it note. Now I want to add some randomization here to make it look a bit uneven, because right now it looks too perfect. I mean, the post-it notes I put on my workstation aren't anywhere near this perfect. They've got wrinkles and their corners are bent, stuff like that. So let's take this guy here. Let's go back to the form and let's actually go to, let's go to randomize this a bit. You see, because it's this wrinkled look. Let me turn off the grid. Let me switch this to a shaded view so you can really see this. You can see randomized it quite a bit, and we control the randomization over here. So if we were to put this at 0 and 0, we have no randomization. We can randomize it in a Y, which is exactly what I want to do. So let's randomize it in a Y to about 1, and that's too much. Let's try 0.5. That might be a bit too much. I actually don't really want this part here to be randomized. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's go to selection. Let's pick the randomize out, delete it. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to point mode, and I'm going to select all the vertices or the points that I do want to be affected. Maybe I don't want those, so I'll just hold down Shift and Control to be able to deselect that. Maybe just these over here. So with those selected, I'm going to go to the form. Let's go back to randomize. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's turn the X to 0 and we'll have the Y at 0.5. Okay, so that's what we get. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That might be a bit much. Let's try something like 0.1. And that may not be enough, so let's try 0.2. It's getting better. 3. I think 0.3 is going to be the number here to go with. 0.3 is not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, so here's the next thing I'm going to do. With this post-it note selected, I'm actually going to turn it to a smooth object, because right now it's not very smooth. So with it selected, I'm going to hit Shift D, and that's going to give me a subdivide polygon op, and now I can subdivide this polygon object. And I'm going to subdivide it maybe I want to go for 2, but that's just too high res for such a simple object. Let's go with something like a 1. Now with this object selected, let me actually go to, I'm only going to select, okay, only those vertices I want to go to the form, and I'm going to go to smooth, and it's going to try to smooth those out for me. And I can tell it to have certain feature preservations. So I can tell it to preserve the boundary vertices. So the vertices that are out here at the edges, I can tell it to preserve the positions of those. But right now they are looking kind of linear, kind of too jagged. It doesn't look smooth enough, so I might turn that off. Now I don't get such a jaggedy look on the edges right there. Okay. It looks pretty wrinkled, looks pretty good. It looks like something that would pretty realistic. And I'm not really going to mess around with more settings here because, to be honest with you, I'm really happy with that result. So I'm going to close that PPG. And now we have our post-it note. Now the only thing left to do, of course, is to go ahead and freeze the modeling on that. And now with this object selected, all we're going to do is simply go up here to File, Export.xsi. Gonna hit OK, and post-it note should be the name down here, and it should save here in the .xsi folder. Let's hit OK, and there we go. Post-it note is complete.